when I first got my diaper bag, it was just so big and there were so many pockets. I was just like, am I supposed to fill all of this space with stuff? Hey, I'm Amber, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Today, I thought it would be fun to do like a little what's in my diaper bag tour. She loves me, I swear. So if you're expecting and you're wondering what all do I need to put in my diaper bag without actually carrying around my entire nursery, I'm going to be telling you exactly what I have in my diaper bag, how it's organized, and I'm pretty proud of the way that I did it because it's been almost exactly the same from the time my son was born until now, and he's just a few weeks from being 1 year old. I've only changed a few things here and there, and I'll let you know at the end what things those are. So let's just get right into it. So I have my diaper bag right here. Let's just talk really quickly about the kind of diaper bag that I have, just in case you haven't already purchased one. I initially did not love how big most diaper bags are. I've always been like a small purse kind of gal, so having all this space just stressed me out initially. I also didn't love that a lot of diaper bags like this one just look like a backpack. So the one that I originally got was actually vegan leather. It was smaller and it didn't look quite so backpacky, but my sister actually was the one that pointed out that vegan leather probably won't hold up as well as like a cloth backpack like this one, and that you can get a bigger backpack and just not use all the space, which goes without saying, but I guess I needed someone to tell me that. So I purchased this one, which is the same exact one that she has, and I'll link this down below in the description box if you want to check it out. I actually really like it. There's tons of different colors, and I am generally someone who prefers functionality over like fashion, so I wasn't too worried at the end of the day about what it looked like. Another thing that I've come to appreciate now that we are getting to the point where we're thinking about maybe having more kids is that if you have a backpack that's bigger, you can fit more into it for multiple kids as opposed to having one that's too small and realizing you need to buy another backpack. Another thing I like about this one, and this is actually relatively common for diaper bags, is that it comes with a portable changing pad. So maybe not most, a lot of diaper bags have these. If you can find one that does, it's very, very convenient because a lot of changing stations for babies are hard. So this isn't super thick, but it just adds a little bit extra padding for when I'm changing him in public. So this actually is the first thing that's in my diaper bag. I have it in the biggest and the very back pocket, and I just have it right along the back. So sticking with this large back pocket, the next thing that I have in my diaper bag, of course, is diapers. I've found that keeping 3 to 4 diapers in here has always been plenty. My tip for you though would be to make sure that if you're out and you use a diaper, the second you get home, just put another one in there so that it's ready to go. Along with diapers, I of course have wipes. I've found that 1 pack of wipes will last me quite a while in here, and I just keep it right next to the diapers. I also keep a small wet bag in that compartment. Almost never need to use this, but it's just one of those things that when you need it, like you need it. My son's only had a blowout in public a couple of times, and all when he was a newborn, but those times it did happen, I was so thankful that we could just put like his poopy clothes in here and zip it up and not have to worry about it like getting on anything else. The next 2 things I have in this one kind of go together, and that is a light jacket for him and a sun hat. I like to keep these 2 things in the diaper bag at all times as opposed to in his dresser because I never want to forget either of these. He has some heavier jackets that I do keep in his dresser, but I like to have this slightly lightweight one because there have been plenty of times where I think it like feels hot outside, and then as I'm walking or as we're, going somewhere, I realize it's actually chillier, maybe because there's like a breeze, or it's warm outside, but like we go to a restaurant and it's really cold in the restaurant. In that case, I love just being able to whip out his jacket, and I don't have to think about it. And same thing with the sun hat. Like, you're never gonna use your sun hat inside, so it's just nice to have with me at all times so that I never have to worry about the sun being in his eyes. Especially because with a baby, it's just so easy, every parent knows, to be hurrying and running out the door and then to completely forget one or two things that you meant to bring. The last thing that I have in this back pocket is actually a new addition, and that is vinegar sanitizing wipes. I actually just purchased these. I found that for most of my son's life to date, this wasn't really needed because we were always either just like holding him or he'd sit in his stroller, but he's getting to the point now where he definitely wants to like reach out and grab things, or we'll put him in the little like restaurant high chair and he wants to put his mouth on everything. So I wanted to make sure that I had something to sanitize different surfaces, but to not like be worried about all the chemicals if he puts his mouth on it afterwards. So I really like these as opposed to like, I don't know, like Lysol or something like that. And I'll link these down below also because I think these are really great. Okay, so third pocket from the back. I only have two things in here. I have an extra towel. This is actually a receiving blanket. So this is like what you wrap your baby in when they're brand spanking new, just for like the first couple of days. But we have used these as like burp cloths. We've used them just to like wipe snot off his face or like his little tears. So I've just found it super helpful to have an extra one of these on hand at all times. The only other thing I have in this pocket, which I actually don't use for what it's intended for, is a nursing cover. My son hates the nursing cover. Won't do it. Will not do it with this over his face. So I normally either nurse him in the car, or sometimes if we're really having a moment, I just whoop it out and, you know, people just have to deal with it. But I actually do like to keep this still as a light blanket. So basically if he's in his stroller, we usually just like put his little feet through where you would put your head, and we just kind of bundle him up that way. So I still carry it around just in case it's a little bit chilly, because this is a little bit thinner than like a blanket. In the pocket right below that, this is also a relatively new addition. I have my, what is this called? I want to call it a knapsack, but I don't think it's called a knapsack these days. Well, anyway. I think it's called like a crossbody bag. We're gonna go with that. I have a crossbody bag. So I actually just recently purchased this. Before I had my wallet in one of these front pockets, but I was finding myself in situations where I would bring my diaper bag on the go with me, but didn't feel the need to bring the whole thing into the store. Like the grocery store is a really good example. My sister, again, was like, Amber, you need to just get one of these. And so I have got rid of the wallet. I actually don't even have a purse anymore. I just have this, and all my things are in here. I love it because, like I said, if you want to have your diaper bag on the go with you in case something happens, but you maybe don't actually need to like carry it around with you, then this is great. You can leave your diaper bag in the car without worrying about leaving like your credit cards or anything in the bag. And this fits in here super easily without taking up hardly any space. Okay, see, we are already almost done. If you're finding this helpful so far, please hit that little subscribe button down below. I would love to see you around here more often. Okay, last pocket is the second to the front. So in here, I have chapstick. I actually also have some chapstick in my little, I keep wanting to say knapsack, crossbody bag, but I am just a big chapstick girl, so I always like to have one ready to go. I also have 2 pairs of socks for him. The reason that I have these in the front as opposed to in the back with the jacket and the sun hat is just because he takes his socks off a lot, and like he'll suck on them, he'll throw them, and so there are a lot of times where I'm like putting the socks on and then he's taking them off and I'm putting them back, like, okay, never mind. And then I'll be like, okay, let's try again. So it's just easier to get them from this front pocket. And that's also the reason I have 2, is because, like I said, he'll like suck on one pair after he pulls them off his feet and make them soggy. So then if we really need socks because it's cold, I have another pair ready to go. I also have a reusable nipple pad. I only have one. I've found that at this point, I only sometimes need to put it in like the opposite side that I'm nursing on. I used to carry 2, but at this point, like I said, I definitely don't need 2. So, and the last thing that I have in here is a silicone teething ring for him. We initially only had one and we would just like shove it in the bag every time we needed to leave, but I've just found it's so much easier to just have one teething ring here at home and then one that we always have ready to go on the go. I also love that it's silicone because in public, babies are gonna drop things. So if he does drop it like on a dirty floor, I can just take it to the bathroom and rinse it off really quick and it'll be good to go. That's actually all that I currently have in here. Another thing that I sometimes put in is a couple extra toys. That's pretty rare because I actually have 2 toys that just permanently live in my car, and he's usually pretty into those since he doesn't play with them like every single day. But if I know that we're gonna be out for like an extra long time, then I'll go ahead and throw a couple extra toys in here. A few other things that I don't currently have in here. One is an extra shirt for myself. I stopped carrying one around probably the 6-month mark because I wasn't needing to deal with leaks very often anymore. But when you're in the first 5-6 months postpartum, I would recommend keeping an extra shirt in your diaper bag for yourself if you're breastfeeding, because sometimes you just start leaking, and if you don't have the little nipple pads in place, then you could end up with a very wet shirt. So it's nice to just have something that you can pull out and change into really quick. Another thing that I don't currently have in here, I actually just took this out and I need to replace it, is an extra set of clothes for my son. I just yesterday took out a onesie from here that doesn't fit him anymore, and I need to go put another one in that he doesn't wear a ton, but it is always a good idea to have 1 or 2 extra changes of clothes for your baby or kid. I actually think up until kids are potty trained, and maybe even like a little after, just in case, it's always a good idea to have a change of clothes for them. And the last thing that I don't currently have in here, but I do find myself bringing with me quite a bit, is a snack or 2 for my son since he is almost 1 year old. I don't permanently keep snacks in here. I definitely keep them in our pantry. If I know that we're gonna be out for more than an hour, I usually will throw a snack in here. Okay, so that is all I have in there. As you can see, it's actually not that much. It's really easy to find everything. And like I said, I have not found myself in a situation yet where I was like, oh my gosh, I should have brought this, or I need to start carrying this. So this has worked out very, very well for me. But if there's anything that I didn't mention that you think that you should have with you, just put it in your diaper bag. Just do it. You can always take it out later. And I think when it comes to babies, it's always better to have something and not need it, so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you need something and don't have it. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are an expecting parent, be sure to check out this video right here about the only things that you really need for your baby. I hope you are having a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!